were getting a burrito. I told him you were getting a burrito.
No, not me. Unless it's vegetarian. Can I bring the water?
Yes, please. One of the rules we sometimes have with Q&As is that they don't ask you stupid monkey questions. Like, what would this character say if it were talking to another character?
One of the rules you should have on this one is don't ask Arthur any questions.
Oh, okay. That's a rule we can abide by. But when I had it, the other panel, Scott McNeil objected. Prefers them, he likes them. So I'd like to cater this to you, if you have a preference.
Yeah, well, it's okay to ask me stupid questions because they'll give me stupid answers, so it's perfectly okay.
Hey, stupid monkey trick questions, like if Prowl and Swoop were in a drive-thru, what would they order? Those kind of questions.
Good God, nobody's going to ask me that.
Challenge accepted.
Oh my God.
I think that's a no.
Why don't we start?
Yeah, let's start. If you like, you can come up here, you can ask a question. Try to limit it to 2 because we're not sure how long the line will be, but other than that, just fire away.
Come on, don't be frightened. I know you want to ask me a lot of personal questions.
Hey Mike, you're okay. You want to ask the first question?
Start things off like.
Here we go.
So you've had a long and storied career full of numerous notable roles, but I wanted to ask, is there a role that you've done that you don't feel gets enough attention that you wish people would ask you more about?
That's really good. You're not talking about any particular show, are you? Like Transformers or G.I. Joe or anything like that?
Carte blanche.
Because I've done all that. I think there are 2 characters, one of which I did on Rugrats. I did the role of Mr. Mucklehoney, which was a role that demanded that I laugh continuously while I talked, and it was really great fun. I don't know how many people have seen it, but it's really a super role that I really took a great deal of pride in. The other is the role of on A Wishful Wings That Work, which was an animated series, which is a combination of live action and animation that I did for Spielberg with Dustin Hoffman and Robin Williams. That's a sensational Christmas story, and the character is it's a wonderful character. I think if anybody just Googles The Wishful Wings That Work, as we get to it Christmas again, it's really a super show. We hoped it would go to series, and it unfortunately didn't. And of the shows that everybody pretty much knows, I think probably, it's hard to say because this stuff was so varied. I had great fun doing Prowl. Prowl was really, because he was so close to me, he was really a dick.
Thank you very much.
Hey Michael Bell, thanks a lot for coming. So a few months ago I was watching TV and I saw you on a Three's Company rerun on some retro channel. So do you have any memories from being on the set of Three's Company?
I tried to erase them. The one that I did as the dancer was okay. That was kind of fun because the gal, what the hell's her name who played Janet?
Janet.
Yeah.
Joyce DeWitt.
Joyce DeWitt, thank you. God, my mind is going. She was not so great the first show I did when I played Rama McGee. She was having some personal problems, so we were not getting along. And then Suzanne and I, there's no way we would ever have gotten along. She's easily the most difficult, one of the most difficult actresses other than Kate Jackson that I've ever worked with. Yeah. But having done the shows, was great because the characters were so interesting, and I got to show my guns in the second one. I played the dancer because I've been working out like crazy. I thought, oh, I finally get to do something where I'm not naked but close.
In a recent interview, I actually saw they had like a Three's Company reunion, and I think Joyce DeWitt, Janet, and Priscilla Barnes, Terry, they were speaking fondly about you as if you're a friend. Have you ever kept in touch with her over the years?
I taught Priscilla Barnes how to do voiceover. Yeah, she was quite a lovely actress. She was a very, very talented actress. I don't know why it didn't really happen for her bigger than it happened. And Joyce was very sweet. We did a show out here, Joyce and I. We did show for Hanna-Barbera. I did the voice of this wonderful character, and she, of course, was live action. She got to sing. So really, really, it was a super show. Yeah, she's a nice gal. She's a really nice lady. She's a very nice lady. And so is Priscilla. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm glad they said nice things about me, considering the fact that I exposed myself to them.
Yeah, totally. My last question is, who are some of your favorite characters that you've ever voice acted?
Well, as I said before, I'm doing A Wish for Wings at work, and of course Prowl, but then I can add to that Chaz, Chucky's dad, and Grandpa Boris, 2 characters. Because of Rugrats, you had a chance, because the way the script was, you got a chance to really play. Whereas in Transformers, everything was everybody was really tough, angry or really heroic or whatever it was. So it's sort of, even though the character voices were different, the theme was pretty much the same. You're either good or you were bad. As Major Blood, he's told I was bad, but I was Australian bad. And when I was Duke and the guys, real hero. It's characters I never would have had an opportunity to play on camera. So that was fun. But it's hard to say there's anything's a favorite, because we did so many of them, all the guys during that period, during the 80s, that it's hard to really zero in on them. I loved playing High Tide in Rescue Bots in the newest series. That was really fun. That brought me back to the days of Transformers. That was cool. And now I'm playing bad guys again. I'm a bad guy on again, which is fun, because I'm getting to be real evil in a series called Micronauts, which is new.
Nice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, Michael. So in the original G1 Transformers, you played many regular characters, recurring characters, a lot of them. When you first saw this, so the question is, when you first saw the script for Transformers the movie, and you saw that some of your main characters were being expired. Prowl expired, Bombshell being basically evolved into somebody else who, and the fandom still debates who. But you still had other characters left over. Swoop, First Aid, just before the movie was still relatively new, so he got some characterization in season 3. But the fact that some of your main characters were being expired, what did you think of that when you first read the script?
Who sent you up here?
Your agent.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
It's like anything else. When you're doing a soap opera, which I did, and you find out when you go to rehearsals that you're dead, the first thing you say is, well, I guess there goes that sofa. There goes that chair. There goes that desk I was going to get. I didn't feel that way with G.I. Joe or Transformers, because, quite frankly, when you do so many characters that I did, I knew I had a backup. And I knew if they did kill them, as much as I love doing Prowl, that they may come up with a new character. And since, just to explain, no matter how many characters they give you, according to Screen Actors Guild and to the Guild rights, you can only do 3 characters for them. So if you've got a voice over here, and you have a voice over here, and you talk like this, you've got 3 characters. They can't make you do any more. So they get 1 actor to play 3 characters, so they get 2 actors for free, as it were. If I have a character that's killed off and a new character is introduced, they're going to come to me. So I'm sort of every mask. So I lose 1 child and I give birth to another one. So it's not the worst thing in the world. But when I did the movie and they attempted to kill off my character, obviously Duke, I said, screw that, kill my brother. Who knows who he is? He's on camera. We don't give a crap about him. Kill him. And they didn't. But they didn't kill me either, so I got away with something. I think the death of Prowl was kind of sad, but in the final analysis, I did something else, and they brought me in for some, I think Dr. Fujiyama or something. They brought me in for the character, so it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, it's just, hey, it's the life of an actor. What are you gonna do? I'm sure people that did The Walking Dead didn't want to die.
Okay. Thank you very much, Michael, and thanks for coming back here.
Sure.
Hi, Michael. Apart from all of the other iconic roles that you've done in the past, that you've been mentioning, Swoop, like my favorite Dinobot, Prowl, Duke, there are a couple of other iconic roles I'm not sure if anyone else has been aware of, like you played the chopper pilot in MASH in that one episode. To me, the most iconic role, however, is the role of Raziel in the Legacy of Kain game, Soul Reaver. And you're phenomenal in that, like all three of those games. My question for you is, when you're auditioning for the role of Raziel or for Soul Reaver in general, what was your, like, how did you come across, like, or other, what was your imagining for Raziel for the voice when you were auditioning for that?
Well, Amy Hennig was so lovely to bring me in to begin with, but Gordon Hunt had said, we want you to do an English dialect. Gordon had directed me in the Smurfs, in the Snorks, in Space Ace, and several other shows that I did for Hanna-Barbera. So Gordon said, I'd like you to do an English dialect, and he knew that I could do that because I did that during the Smurfs and some of the other shows, because you have to play so many different characters. And I kind of felt that I wanted to keep them in a lower tone, you know, somewhere over here, because otherwise my voice is, you know, it's very recognizable. I realize I cannot make a pornographic phone call. There's no way I can call any girl and say, hi, it's me. She's going to say, oh, it's Michael Bell, even if she doesn't know me. So all I can do is breathe heavy, and I can't even say anything. So I had to bring my voice down a bit and make it work with the English dialect. And I thought, well, this, either I have it, I don't. And of course, they booked me for it. And of course, I had to do other voices as well, because I did some of the other characters that I killed. So I did one creature, really horrendous creature, that sounded like he was puking all the time. That was peed my pants on that one. Halfway through the session. I mean, that was a lot of hard work. But that's what you do. It's what you do. And you know, that's how you do it. That's that. And thank you for the compliment. That was a wonderful series. That particular game. I should tell you though that when I first did the game, and then when it first came out, Amy called me and she said, "Would you?" Because I don't play video games. I do them, but I don't play them. And she said, "You want to play this game?" And I said, "That'd be fun." So she bought me a PlayStation, and she got me that, and she gave me the disc, and I put it on, and I sat in the room. And after a couple of minutes, I think it must have been about maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I was having real trouble getting Raziel just on a cliff, on a next segment. My daughter came in, she said, "What are you doing, Dad?" I said, "Well, I'm playing the game that I did." She said, "Well, how long do you think you've been in here?" I said, "About 20 minutes." She said, "You've been here for 4 hours." So people come up to me and say, when they come up to the booth that I'm here, and they say, "You know, I played that game several times. I try to hurt them. Because I could not do it. I couldn't do it at all." So I took the PlayStation, I took the disc, wrapped it up nicely, and gave it to a young kid. And his mother came over and she said, "What a nice kid." I said, yeah, can we drive you crazy? This will do it. He'll never leave the room. Finished it. I think in 20 minutes he was finished the game or something. So, as I say, I don't play games, but that was a good game. I'm told that was a wonderful game. I do like watching the filming of it. Who's this? So desperate.
And the white man had to sit in the middle.
Of course, because I was first.
I couldn't help it, I'm tired.
Yes. Yes, that's because you sucked all the oxygen out of the air.
I know.
Who's next?
Thank you so much.
Okay. Do you want some
Oh my
water?
gosh.
Old man?
Yes, please. Thank you, doctor.
Yeah.
Well, we have a full house in here now.
Yes, we do. There you go. This man is so old, he's around when the earth was cooling.
Here's to you, Michael.
Yes, thank you very much.
Older than water.
Get to the mic, will you?
Smarter than dark.
Okay, we're ready. Enough.
He's such a
Ash, what next year?
Mr. Bell,
Yes.
first off, let me just say we met 10 years ago back at TFCon.
I'm not your father, am I?
It was back at TFCon 2007 on April 28th, which was my birthday that we met.
Oh, good, okay, cool.
Yeah. Let me just say it was an honor meeting you 10 years ago.
How old were you?
I was 17 years old back
Oh my
then.
God, okay.
Yeah.
You're my son.
Yes.
Anyway, my question is, how much fun was it playing Quackerjack from Darkwing Duck?
Playtime! I loved it. It was great. It could really give vent. I gave vent to my inner Quackerjack.
Yes.
Because that's such a, and you play nutty characters. Yeah, I mean, that's the best. He's been doing that during Destro. I mean, Destro is a crazy character. And he's sort of madness, and there's the kind of madness to Quackerjack, which is so presidential.
I saw what you did there.
Yes,
Thank you. It was good meeting you again.
Thank you.
10 years later.
thank you. And this next gentleman.
Hi, Michael Bell.
Hi.
I know you voiced Lance from Voltron,
Yes.
and there's this new Voltron series called Voltron Legendary Defender. Are you
Yes.
going to be any other guest voice in the upcoming third season?
I did one, as a matter of fact. I don't remember the character's name, but as usual, they hired me to play the Grand Vizier or some evil dragon or something or other. Yeah, they brought me in to do that. And I met the cast, and they're really sweet, very nice. In fact, I took a picture with the young kid who's playing Lance, young Lance and old Lance. Yeah, it was, yes. So I, just once, just did it once, and that was fine with me. It was nice to go back home for a brief spell. But the role of Paige now is a girl.
Yeah.
And that was somebody else when we did it a long time ago. Yeah, it was a guy.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Arthur and Michael, good. It's good for you guys to come. My question is on the show of G.I. Joe. Both your characters of Destro and Duke had great chemistry with either Scarlet or the Baroness.
Wait, you fooled with Scarlet?
You fool the Baroness?
Yes. In fact, we gave new name to the word cockpit.
If only Duke had a cock.
Talk about compound.
I've been waiting for months to do that. He is, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Bell is the proud possessor of an acid, quick tongue, and he.
That's what she said.
Because that's all you've got. We were also rivals, and I think in cartoon life.
Yeah.
But what did you ask?
Well, the writing on the show was so advanced for a kids show at that time, for an 80s kids show. Like,
yeah.
But it was
the-
tasteful.
It was tasteful innuendo.
Right.
But like, did the director actually tell you guys to
No.
do that, or did you guys just go with the flow?
No, we did. We improvised somewhat. Mike and I and Chris and others talked to the writers who wanted to talk to us, and that was the doing of Chris Collins. He wanted the writers to talk to us, those who have a classical education in theater.
And what's important is that Wally, let's just take 30 seconds because he just passed away, because we all loved him.
I love him.
Let's just take 30 seconds of silence, okay? Just 30 seconds. Okay,
Thank you,
And
Mike.
don't forget Dick Gautier, we lost Dick Gautier as well. And,
Dick Gautier.
So get all our autographs, because we're dropping like flies. He was a wonderful, wonderful director in that he allowed the actor the ability to do what they do. When you hire somebody as a director, you can guide them, you can nudge them a little bit, but you have to allow the actor to do what they do. The only downfall we had, one problem we had with Wally is that Wally wanted to play all the roles.
Thank you.
So he would get behind the,
Yes, he did.
he'd get behind the glass, and of course, you did something. He said, "Could you do that? Could you do that? Yeah, can you?" And I said, "Don't do that twice."
Wally actually gave me a line reading once.
That's a line reading for an actor is deadly. That's literally like a director stepping in for a porno star. You don't say this is how you do it, because you're a star. It's what you do, and it's what we did. And so we give us every now and then give us a line reading. We were pretty good about it. We'd sort of stop, and he'd know what he did, and he'd say, "Okay, I'm sorry, this go on. Sorry, that's it. It was good. Yeah, it's fine." Except when he had ladies, we had. I think I was doing the Inhumanoids, and I had an actress named Susan Silo, who had a voice like this, which is sharp enough, which you don't want to marry. And Susan had to play Blackthorn's sister, which was my character, and she had to be angry at something, and she was loud, and I heard Wally go, "Susan, could you go deeper?" And she said, "Okay, Wally." And then she did this again, and he said, "Susan, could you go a little deeper?" And she looked at me and I said, "Don't look at me." "Okay, Wally." "Oh, Blackthorn, here's it." She said, "Susan, could you?" I said, "Wally, it's a girl. It's a girl. It's not you. You can't do this role. It's a girl." And he went, oh, sorry, Susan." I said, "Good." I said, "She was about 4 seconds away from leaving a lung on the window. When you saw the little splatter of blood hitting the window, that was her." And he went, "Oh, okay, good. That was Wally." That's who he was. He was so energized. He was so excited about everything he was doing. But it had to be closer to where Wally would have done it. That was the only thing. We told him. It was no big deal. We told Wally. He did it with Orson Welles. Why wouldn't he do it with us?
May I speak now?
No, go ahead. Watch, I'll drink water while he does it.
Actually, that's right.
You wanted to speak.
I know, I'm trying to remember what I wanted to say. I lost it after all that peroration of yours, which is right, he was right. Wally, and I said, "Wally, I'm not going to do it the way you want me to do it." And I walked out. And he said, "Come back here, do it the way, I'm sorry." And I said, "Okay." But I could do that because I was one of the mainstays of the show. If you weren't, then don't let the doorknob hit you with a good Lord split you. That was, and I'd been there. Wally wanted to be the roles that we were playing. He wanted to have the versatility of Mike and the depth of an Arthur Burghardt. But yeah, he couldn't do that. But he could direct very well. He saw the situation often as we could not see it. He also wanted to do something that our facial, you notice if you're speaking with somebody, their faces change. That's called nuance. The cartoons, those particular shows, if you'll notice, had no nuance in the faces at all. They don't change like I'm doing now. There's no expression. That's what I mean. I'm tired. There's no expression in their faces. And so Wally would help us with little things that we could say and do that would give us the nuance or the idiosyncrasies that we wanted to play. Am I right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
Oh. I didn't think so either. But
I want to simplify.
I'm trying to, but he was a good man, and I respect him. Sometimes I didn't get along with him because he was he downplayed our roles. Now, something that you mentioned that I want to fully answer your question about. Most of us, like Mike, like me, we were educated in the classical theater, and we could give lines. We could tell the writers, that we wanted these lines are something more than yes, over and out. I don't want to be there. We could do things and say things that were closer to our characters. We could say things that were closer to our characters that made them work, which is what moved you. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. Did you guys, by any chance, everybody see Community?
Yes.
Community is an on-camera show. And I don't know, they couldn't reach you. They were trying to reach you. What happened? Yes, they did. One of the characters in a live-action show in comedy gets hit in the head, and he winds up in G.I. Joe land. So the rest of the show is animated.
It's beautiful.
And so what they did was they called me on the phone, and my agent said, they're looking for someone to play Duke. They would like you to do the original, but it was done so many years ago, they're not sure you're capable of doing it.
My God.
And I said, come on, guy, that's crazy. Well, what was it supposed to sound like? Well, he's going to call you. So he called, I hear a phone call on here. Oh, is Mr. Bell there? I said, yeah, who is it? I gave him what he wanted. And I said, this isn't, I forgot the direction. This is, I said, I'm looking for Michael Bell. And I said, yeah, it's him. And he said, who played the role? He thought he had the wrong number. Who played the role of Duke in G.I. Joe? Yeah, what do you want? And he said, I said, what? What? You want me to go, yo, Joe, what is it you want? And he went, okay. That's what I wanted to do. I said, let me explain something to you. Hopefully you're reaching out to the other actors that play the same roles. If you get somebody that's not that actor and you can do that role, fine. But if you want to get the originals, they're all available from my knowledge. I said, our asses may have dropped, but our voices have remained the same.
Not my ass.
Except for Arthur's. And I thought Arthur was going to do it with me, but they got this young, sturdy, handsome, big, bull-like black guy who didn't sound anything like you.
He sounded like this?
A lot like that.
You see, now the only way, Michael is a classically trained professional artist and actor, and a theater man. And the only way that you can have that described adequately and beautifully as he just did was for him to be who he is, you see? That's what Joe McCall wanted in the actors. He wanted not just experience, but he wanted people like Rocky and Bullwinkle, by the way. All those people were trained classically.
Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc.
I mean, it's not just his voice.
Yes.
It's if he sings, his characters,
yes.
the characters he's done. It takes 4 guys now to do everything that Mel Blanc did. To do all those characters, it takes 4 other actors to do that.
Each of those characters are not just sounds. They're stories, damn it. You understand me? Am I being clear? Because I don't think sometimes I am. I'm on West Coast time, and I've just gotten over a couple of illnesses. And people say, well, you're a voiceover actor. No, I'm not. And there's a reason why I'm not, and he just gave it. We can have fun playing Darkwing Duck and other roles, but we supply the basis for those roles inside, an inner life. It's enough out of me.
Okay, that's it. That's a hell of an answer to one simple fakakta question.
Man, sit down, man. Man, sit up there, man, in front of my table and stuff.
What's yours?
You ain't right. Who are you, man?
You shut up.
Okay.
So last year, Dan Gilvezan was here, and he shared some stories from inside the studio, and he kind of threw you guys under the bus every now and again. So I was wondering if you perhaps wanted to return the favor to Dan Gilvezan and maybe throw him under the bus.
It's kind of hard to throw Dan under the bus. He's boring as shit.
And he makes a terrible splatter.
Dan's a good friend. I saw Dan a couple of days ago. He's a real sweetie guy.
Oh, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
I love him to death, by the way. He always comes up to me. I have to tell him, stop kissing my ass, Dan. You got the part.
The guys that were I think it was probably Frank and Arthur and myself, and every now and then Neil shot one across the bow, and BJ is enormously funny and talented. Enormously funny and talented lady. But
her husband just died too.
I know, yeah.
The great Gordon Hunt.
Gordon Hunt, the director, died. And so what happened is that there are other people that were there and they were great on behind the mic, but they weren't as ridiculous as we were, as aggressive as we were vocally. So yes, he could throw us under the bus because we deserved to be thrown under the bus because we lengthened I think a session that should have been 4 hours into 8. Just by chatting and playing and having a good time. And actually, Wally helped by keeping us there for 8 hours. It was never happening until we fulfilled our full obligation, our script obligation. In fact, he's one of the reasons we went out on strike, was so we could reduce the 8 hours to 4 hours. So, but we loved him. Yes, Dan, super guy. Did everybody see the feud, the thing about Betty Davis and Joan Crawford? It was a TV series that was on, and Dan had a little bit part in that, so you get to see him act.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, Betty Davis's agent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, good to see you both here. Both of you were working pretty extensively with Chris Latta on both G.I. Joe
I knew that was coming. Yeah, go ahead.
Any memories that you could share or
good
anything about
God.
working with him? Because he played like the iconic sniveling villain sort of thing.
God. Yes, Chris, big, bombastic, loud, and wet.
Worse than me.
He would stand. I finally said I can't stand next to Chris because Chris he would do his thing, and he would turn on, and he literally was soaked, and he was soaked. He was constantly wet and
sweating.
And he was sweating all the time, and all I can remember is, rest his soul, he had a big brown tooth right over here. But it was a big brown tooth. I thought it was wooden. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. He had a brown tooth. And
cigarette smoking.
A lot of cigarettes. Oh, God, a lot of cigarettes. Talented, no doubt talented. And he was also a stand-up comic when he wasn't working on camera, when he wasn't working behind the mic. He was a stand-up comic. So you got a lot of stuff going on all at one time in a little tiny room. And I kept thinking, is that going to be my hell? Am I going to live for eternity in a room with nothing but lights like this, old mirrors, and Chris Latta, and Arthur? He was an interesting guy and very talented, but you have more to ask.
Well, I think what you mentioned with Arthur, he and Destro and Cobra Commander seem to have almost as much chemistry as Destro and the Violence at times.
The guys, yeah, look, they're both actors. They both knew their stuff. They knew what they were doing, and it was fun. The fighting between them was great fun. We'd love to sit back and watch that, and listen to that. That was great fun. Absolutely.
That was great. Thanks, guys.
You don't have anything to ask me?
Well, along the same lines, because you were Destro, so.
Say yes, dude. That's it.
Yes.
Yes. Chris saved my life. Or he tried, and at first I didn't take it.
You tried?
Yeah, Chris saved my life. He literally did. Yep. I guess I can say it now. Chris was a drug addict, and I was in my druggy days, and he was sober then. And I can say it now, I suppose. But he carried the message to me, which I did not hear at first, but which stuck with me later on. And I can honestly say, he saved my life. I too was a drug addict. And I can talk about it now because I've been sober about 30 years. I didn't say that. If somebody has a problem, you can talk to me later on. But, you know, that's the reason why we're anonymous with him, is because I could become high this evening and it would throw everything that we talked about away. No, I can't actually, because I'm closer to my maker than that, but there were other, I almost left the show because I wasn't getting what I wanted, et cetera, you know. And I was once again being treated as a second-hand actor, I thought. All these things were going through me, I thought. And also, Chris saved that in me. I stayed to do the show, to perform, because he made it fun. Mike made it fun, BJ made it a lot of fun. And I suddenly saw just how wonderful these other people were. We were an ensemble. And Chris was working with Joe Bacall and his son, and with Hasbro. They came to him as a stand-up and said, would you write for us? What do you think about this show? What kinds of actors should we get? Who should we talk to? Yeah, he helped them, Sunbow Productions, he helped them set up the whole G.I. Joe premise that you kids were allowed to enjoy later on. And yeah, it was him. And he fought to keep us all together and to keep me in the show. And I was bemused sometimes like I am now, listening to Mike deliver up stories about other actors, and we would tell stories to one another.
And that was fun. That was a
lot of fun.
He did Starscream too, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he also did Starscream. That was.
He had a very limited range.
Yeah, I would have to say it was a limited range, but it was a strong range. Yeah,
but
strong. What he did was strong.
Yeah, he played with it so brilliantly.
Yeah. And he really threw himself into it. That's why I said I thought he was going to electrocute himself because he was constantly wet. Wet on water on a mic.
Yeah.
So it was like
sweating and shit, you know.
He stood off to the side.
You know.
Anyway, that was good.
That's why I don't want to drink again, Brother Arthur. You know, I said, man, but don't talk like that, man. You know, just talk to me. All right. Just give me your Boston regular crap that you do, you know. But just don't play black.
But when he talked to you, he'd get very close to you.
You know, get too close.
And Chris Close was not an attractive.
No.
Because he was wet with a wet tooth.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, we did next question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Thanks for coming to the convention. As a kid, you grow up watching cartoons, and the thing that attracted me were the visuals and the dialogue. And then as I got older, getting back into Transformers, I was more interested in voice acting. So when I looked up what other works were done, I noticed that you did the Smurfs, and you did 3 main characters with a lot of Hall of Fame actors. Do you have anything to share working on that series, which was basically 9 seasons?
Yes, Handy, Lazy, and Grouchy, and then I took over for Paul. I called Paul Winchell when he was no longer planning to do Gargamel.
Yeah.
He said he didn't want to do it anymore. I said, I called him and said, look, is this a money thing? Are you fighting for more money? Because then I won't step in, because they asked me to do it the last season, because I used to imitate him. And he said, no, go right ahead, baby, you do it. He said, I just got $19 million from NBC. So seriously, he said, yeah, I just sued them and I won, because they threw away all my tapes of me and his ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, no.
So they destroyed the tapes and they were his. So, and he had invented, I don't know if you know that the voice of Gargamel, he had invented the mechanical heart. He had done all the experimentation.
Yes.
So he and I used to fight because I'm an animal activist. And he said, so you did stuff to cows. And he said, oh, for God's sake, it's my cover.
It was the heart valve or something? The mitral valve?
Yeah, the whole artificial heart. The guy's a voice guy. But in any event, in terms of doing the show, the only thing I can tell you is that, are there any kids in the audience?
We're all kids at heart.
Yeah. Okay, over there. I came to the show unstoned. I didn't know I was going to be stoned because I didn't know that the cake that a friend of mine had baked had that green stuff in it. And not only that, I was coming off my first date with my wife, who almost didn't date me again, which is another story. And the next morning, after crawling to my bed across my house, from one end of the house to the other to get to the bedroom, I woke up in the morning and it was from banana bread, and I could taste that, and I was still stoned, but not terribly, but enough so that everything was driving me crazy. And I went into the studio, and of course we sat up on seats. We all had little seats we sat on. Everybody's very animated. You know, Frank and all the guys are all, and Alan Oppenheimer were all animated, and we're all doing our thing, and everybody's doing their voices. And they started the session, and Gordon Hunter, I said, he's passed. He said, okay, let's start. We're going to start with the La La song. And I have my sunglasses on, and I hear, la 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 in my ear. And I thought my eyeballs were touching the glass of my sunglasses. It was louder than it probably really was. And it was probably the worst morning of my life because we did it a lot. We did a lot, and you hear, "I'm a Smurf!" in my ear. And that's what we heard a lot. That's one of the, probably the most profound memories I have of doing the Smurfs. And the other might be, who played Grandpa Smurf? Jonathan Winters. Jonathan, when you play your characters, you do it a lot. When you do your characters a lot, you kind of have those characters. You know those characters' voices. Sometimes they say, we'll play you what it sounded like. We'll just give you an idea of what it sounded like. So they played one last week. If it's a new character who happened to be in the second week. And Jonathan had just joined us as a Grandpa Smurf, not Papa Smurf, Grandpa Smurf. And Jonathan started to do his voice, and then Gordon Hunt said, John, that's not the voice. And he went, oh. Is it this one? And he said, no, John, it's not that one. He went, is it this one over here? He said, no, John, it's not that. He said, well, maybe it's what, is this one over here? He said, no, Jonathan, that's not it. He said, we'll pull it up for you. And I turned around and said, Jonathan, you're suffering from voice-heimers. And I remember, oh, geez, which voice? It's because you have so many things in your head, and it's really kind of difficult if you've only done it the week before, and you've got 6 old ladies and 7 old men. You're not going to be able to pull that out of the sky. So that was one of the things that I remember most. Is
I had the opposite problem. Prince, I did Prince and the Pauper. Oh, okay. Anybody seen Disney's Prince and the Pauper? Yes. With the black cat. Well, okay. He always give me he does the high range stuff. He always give me the low range. They didn't want me for any roles in the Smurfs, but I did the black cat, or drew the black cat this way, right? And then when they were casting for what, Goof Troop, and it was Cummings who got the role. Of course, I was having a brand new baby, not me, but my lady. And we needed the money, but no. Jimmy McSwain came out and said, Arthur, it sounds too much like the Kingfish from Amos and Andy. And I said, it doesn't sound like what Tim Moore did. But they heard that all the time. And I couldn't get out of that. Do you have another? Well, this is Amos and Andy. All of you kids are too young to remember Amos and Andy or the great Tim Moore, but it was like, what, Amos? How you gonna do that? Now that's not the big black cat. The big black cat was like this, but they didn't hear that in me. For some reason, they keep it right. So there was no way that I could get out of it, and they hired him.
Who'd they hire?
It was Jim Cummings or something.
Oh, Jim
Cummings.
Jim Cummings.
There are a number of Cummings.
The Jim Cummings. There's Brian Cummings and there's Jim
Brian Cummings.
Yeah.
There are a lot of comings and going.
Yeah.
You're always coming.
Both very talented guys. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question.
Yes, young lady.
Don't look at him, look at me, darling. We met the other day.
We met earlier today, actually.
Yes, which is why she's looking at me.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. You can look at anybody you want to look at.
Go ahead.
My question is for Arthur.
Oh! Finally!
I'm so glad he's wearing defense.
Finally, you decided, you guys, to ask me something. You know?
Go to it.
Go to it. No, I'm going to bask in the moment, Mike.
I've seen some of their x-rays. They haven't got that long. Go.
This is your first
There's
time.
a child here in the front, and I can't say what I want to say.
That's okay. He won't understand.
Do I love Mike? Yes, like a sister, an older sister. He's my brother.
Okay.
My darling, say what you want to say.
This is your first time coming to a big convention like this, right?
No, to something in Canada. I've worked in Canada several times.
But this is your first time going to like a big fan convention, right?
No, this is my fourth time. I think Long Beach.
Long Beach, yeah.
This is my fourth time. I didn't think that I was worthy. I didn't think anybody gave a damn about Destro.
And he didn't know what a convention was.
And I didn't know what a convention was. I was born just 3 days ago, and I didn't think that anybody really gave a damn about any of the things that I've ever done. I'm serious. I'm very serious about this. Maybe it's my reaction to American racism or something, I don't know. But I always felt that people did not like Destro. They did, and that also the fact that Destro was there seemed to be some disconnect between Laird Destro James McCullens and a black man playing him, in spite of the fact that there are black folks living in Scotland today. What was your question?
Which is why he hasn't done a lot of conventions.
This is actually my fourth convention, and I am amazed that y'all actually really, you shaped my childhood. I'm serious.
Yeah, 3 of them were serial killers.
Right?
I got Arthur involved in conventions. I called Arthur and told him about conventions. And he said to me, what do we have to do? Do we have to put together an act? I said, no, just be you and sign autographs and talk to people because they want to meet you. You were Destro, you were part of their childhood. He said, well, do we have to entertain? I said, no, you don't have to entertain. You just have to. And he said, well, I'm not sure. I said, I'll put you in touch with somebody.
Hey, man,
just try one. Try one.
Hey, man. You see my cousin right there, man? I'm serious, brother.
Not every black person is your cousin. Just as
this brother
every
is.
black person is mine.
This brother is.
Jeez.
Thank you, brother. Just see him later, man. See him later, brother.
Did you have a further question this week? Because we're getting close to time.
No, we're not either. We're going to know that these people haven't gotten enough Destro.
Do you have a further question?
Thank you. Thank you. I love you too.
Let her talk.
We're family. We're family.
Well, I had heard that this was at least one of your first conventions, and I just wanted to know how you liked it.
Oh, we're going to be here all night.
I thought you would help me out, man. This is the first time I've been here without my agents and stuff. And you didn't even give me a call last night, brother.
No, I couldn't find you, brother. I know you were face down on the lawn drunk.
No, I wasn't. I was up here, man. Asleep and shit.
Say what?
Matter of fact, I got this morning, I missed my call.
Yes.
No, we're going to do this as long as we need to.
You have 3 minutes.
We have 3 minutes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, we have another 15.
No, then we
We got another
No.
15. Why?
This schedule is
We have
very
another
precise
time.
and exact.
Tell them. And you tell.
I'm the panel queen.
The panel queen.
You're what?
I'm the panel queen.
What kind of a queen?
Panel.
Oh, you're the panel queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, baby, you can be my queen any day.
I dropped the mic with that personal harmony. So we have time for one more
Well,
question.
wait a minute, this young lady, are you satisfied, my darling? You
Yeah,
can come
are you
and ask me anything.
Yes. They will be doing autographs.
You can ask Esther, you can ask him later, you can ask him, but let's have this last gentleman up here if we have to have one more left.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, go.
Bye, baby.
All right, go for it.
All right, I just wanted to say real quick, it's funny that you mentioned about Destro and how you didn't think anyone really cared. As an African-American kid, having the character of Destro was really a big influence on me. Like for me with G.I. Joe, I was like, man, this is the baddest black dude that's on cartoons I've ever seen. And then a couple years later to find out that he was an Irish guy, oh, I was heartbroken. Everything about Destro read African American man, all head, big lips, deep voice.
Well, wait. It looks like he's got, hello? Can you hear me? It looks like he's got thick lips, but he doesn't. Destro's a white man.
As I've come to learn, that's what was disappointing. That's
What about Master Sergeant Stalker?
But yeah, Stalker was also the very first G.I. Joe I
was
ever
great.
had. Oh yes.
And James Earl Jones, come on, let's hear it for James Earl Jones. Let's hear it for him.
No, your work was definitely appreciated in this kid's toy fantasy. So.
Okay, are we in more or what? That's just it, that's just it.
How quick can you ask this question?
We
How quickly can you answer? We have 1 minute. 1 minute, go.
I just wanted to say thank you both, you guys, for being here. You guys together on that stage are just awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wait, 1 more minute.
We are completely out of time. Big hand for our guests.
Thank you, Toronto, for bringing us here.
Yes, thank you. We are ready for the third-party panel product review. Third-party product review. Please take a look at the silent auction in the back. Proceeds go to Make-A-Wish Canada. If you would like DVDs of the previous TFCons, go see Ellen over